Motion carries. And then approval of the agenda. We'll need a motion and a second on that as well.
Aye.
Motion Geo, second Alex.
Discussion? Any discussion? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign? No. It's good. Okay, director's report.
All right, we'll just jump right into a real quick wrap up because we've got really two main events that we want to talk about today. But again, if you've got concerns or issues, basketball wrap up. We moved the meeting because we were awarded a SODAC 16 doubleheader last week. We were the only venue in the state that got 2 boys games, and the week before we had girls SODAC games in the past. That's all based on the teams that win and where the state puts them. The only venue that had 2 games that night for the girls was Huron, and I actually went to that one, and so it was kind of fun to see what they do and the basketball experience there. 200, we actually had 221 games scheduled. We actually played 217 games at the Corn Palace this year. That includes the freshman, sophomore games for Mitchell High, but all high school and or college games. Total attendance, I didn't break down the individual games, but from October 28th, which was our first basketball game, through last Tuesday, 87,000 people in the front doors. And so there was a recital in there and, a few other things, Christmas at the Palace. But, we kind of tell folks 400,000 a year, 300,000 for tourists, 100,000 for visitors. And that's going to be quite close by the time we do, a concert, another recital, or upcoming events. So it was a good, busy year. Craig's going to talk a little bit about concessions too. Some upcoming events and things we did. We did a cheer dance recital. That was called the Baby I'm a Star. Again, a big event for us, 1,500 people here. Very organized. They started at 9 in the morning and said they're going to be done at 3 o'clock and they were out of here at 3:30. The event ended at 3:05, I think. So a good event for us. We did youth wrestling this past Saturday, which traditionally is our biggest event as far as concessions and people. That held true. We had just under 1,700 ticketed, 1,625 wrestlers, and then the support staff and volunteers, so another 30 or so. So we were at 2,500 in the building. It was a full house. Again, we opened the doors at 8 a.m., so we had some ticket volunteers, and it went real smoothly. But prior to the event, they have a coaches meeting, and just an FYI, they actually are going to move that event to Wagner for next year. So the Corn Palace is losing that event for 2025, and that's voted on by the teams. And Wagner felt they had everyone's piece of the pie a little bit. The tickets, it's a fundraising event for their teams, just like it is for Mitchell Wrestling. And Mitchell, Mount Vernon Plank, and Hanson would be the northernmost teams in this region. Everybody else is for themselves, the Point South. Winter, Marty, Bonham, Wagner, Avon, Scotland, all said, let's go a little closer, which, it's always, they do that meeting every year, and we did have a new coach this year. It takes a little while to build those relationships and draw it in, but we felt it went very well. But that event will not be here next year. Coming up next week, a couple meetings that you might want to attend or events. On Tuesday is the Lake Information Meeting we're hosting. That's open to the public. It's also being televised on Mitchell Telecom Channel 90. If you want to get more information about that, it's regarding the upcoming vote on the lake loan. And then on Wednesday, CHS has a free will offering pancake feed. It's a fundraiser for so they support the Feeding South Dakota program. That is obviously open to the public. And then on the following Saturday of next week is the Wingapalooza event, which has been fun. We'll run 500 people through here. And that one, if you're, it's the 25th, right? Right? Should have it on my 23rd. Yeah, 23rd. Thank you. 23rd. We do need some folks helping with wristbands, checking IDs. It goes from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. We're pretty much done with IDs and things by 2:30, 3 o'clock. It slows down. People are in by then because they start to run out of wings. So if you want to give a little bit of your time on that Saturday, we'll get you in and have you sell some ID, or not sell some, check some IDs and put wristbands on. So I'll maybe follow up early next week to see if any of you are available. But that'd be like from 12:30 to 3:30 type of deal, if you would be so inclined. I'll give you a quick update on Hairball. Those tickets were announced. Gosh, I should have checked, Craig. How many do we have? You want this ticket report?
No, I do not.
Gosh. Sorry about that. No reason I don't have that. Just a real quick report. But typically, we're going to try to get people to buy early so we can gather their data. And then Craig's doing something for the e-tick where we can send out reminders. If we get their emails and we get their cell numbers, we can send out via our ticketing system. So excited to use those features. They're going to go up $5 a ticket on April 8th, so that Monday before the show. Okay, so again, we're just a month out from that. Would reach out to some board members to maybe do some scanning of tickets. We'll also do, because that's we scan all of those. We have a lot of walk-ins. And we'll check IDs and do wristbands right in the front lobby. So we think we got a pretty good plan. It's all open general admission seating. There'll be, the beer sales will be out in the lobby. Concessions obviously will be open. And then the alcohol liquor sales will be on the floor in the corners. And we've got those fully staffed. So we really need folks to scan and do wristbands. So I'll be doing some recruiting for that. That's on a Friday, April 12th. Circus tickets, we met with the circus people yesterday. They want to put those tickets on sale on the 26th of March. So Shriners can buy early, like they have in the past, and then general public. And so you'll see some social media posts about that. And then just this morning, we met with the Shootout at the Lake. That is the Horseman Sports Incorporated group. And they're going to do bull riding, bronc riding event on June 21st and June 22nd. And they've announced the Friday night is going to be the event, and then a Ned Ledoux concert. Okay, and that's a $35 ticket. They expect about 3,000 people. Saturday, it's a repeat of bull riding and bronc riding, and then Dustin Evans with the Good Times Band for the full band. And that's a $30 ticket. So Ned Ledoux is $35, the other one's $30, and we're going to actually sell the tickets for them. So we'll just kind of do it like we normally do, and we'll get a ticket percentage off of that. Of course, all the taxes on that. But it's also going to drive some people to our page where we have our festival concerts too. So we think that's a win-win for us. And we sell tickets very well. And what we'll do that night is basically they'll scan their own. We'll loan them our scanners and to check the tickets, and then they'll do cash sales night of. We won't be involved with that part of the night of the event. And then we have a dance recital coming up. And, oh, by the way, the circus is the 29th of April through May 1st. Same kind of thing. They'll do a Monday night performance at 7 o'clock. Then we'll do a 10 a.m. Tuesday for nursing home residents. Then a 4:15 and a 7:30 show on Tuesday. 4:15 and 7:30 on Wednesday. Then they're out of here by midnight. And we clean up. And I think we do the prom was week before that, so we won't have the circus smell for the prom this year like we did last year. So I'm sure they'll appreciate that. So that's kind of events going on. Obviously, we talked about the recovery of the chairs. Stayed on them literally monthly, weekly now, and they're waiting on some yarn. They gave me a 2-week notice last week that it'll be arriving. So, it's been a long process. As soon as that's in, we've talked with our upholsterer. They'll cut and sew, and then we'll apply as soon as they can come in. So we plan to have enough upholstery to do 600 seat covers, and then at the same time, we'll be cleaning the backs of those other seats and things like that. So that's kind of an upgrade. Of course, this time of the year, without basketball now, we're repairing lights, replacing some fixtures, putting a new toilet, just general maintenance things that we don't always have time to do when we have games every day. And that's kind of my report. We move right into the Craig's.
All right. As far as concessions goes, the cheer and dance recital, we did better than we did last year, which was a plus. Doug already mentioned the youth wrestling, and that's going to be a huge loss for us next year. Once again, we did better in concessions that day by over $1,000 than we did the previous year, so that was great. The kids did an awesome job. It's just total chaos for 6 hours, and lots of breakfast sandwiches, and I brought in some breakfast pizzas, so we were able to help out the little kids with that. So popcorn balls are still crazy as ever. Kids are over there making them now. Got about 500 for orders, and we didn't have any for us to sell, so hopefully I can get a few hundred done up for that as well. Well, that's all I got.
Basketball, each of the basketball teams, we kind of give them some popcorn balls, a nice thank you at the end of their season. We obviously wouldn't do well in concessions without all of our basketball games here, so we certainly appreciate them, tell them that. Our state tournament teams got a gift basket, so we supported that, and just like a lot of businesses in town this time of year, you get asked to donate for things, and we do that as well. A typical giveaway for us is a basket of popcorn balls with some candies and some event tickets. And, lots of those people that call other businesses just know that we are doing the same as a business on Main Street. And some of those, with some comp tickets, and we're allowed to give those, from the bands, and we document all of that, and we do popcorn balls. I mean, sometimes you're in that $100, $120 value for a basket. Depends on what we're putting in there for tickets. So.
A side note on that, I saw the show in Wheaton, Illinois, the
Show choir?
show choir.
Yes.
And they threw popcorn balls out to the audience.
You were at the show?
No, I saw, my son brought his phone, and
Right.
we streamed it on one of the TVs
Yeah.
down at the depot. And anyway, so I got a chance to see, but they were throwing popcorn balls out in the crowd.
Yeah, they get 50 each show?
Yeah,
Yeah, so, yeah,
Anyways.
they came to us, and Craig worked with them, and that's obviously benefits the Corn Palace, the city of Mitchell.
that was like a 20-minute ad for South Dakota.
Yeah.
That's,
I think, and I don't know if the governor's picked up on that, I know you guys have reached out to
Yeah, we
them.
sent it to the state tourism
Yeah,
department.
it's a pretty cool deal.
yeah.
And,
They really, artwork, the stage, the sets and all that stuff are all South Dakota, Corn Palace domes. And it was really, really, really neat.
Any questions? Tim, are you able to hear us okay? Did we lose you? Any questions about any events or anything we just talked about before we move on? We got two major items. Okay, I'd like to go right into our murals, if you haven't. Beautiful day today. I mean, we've taken time in the past to go out and look at the murals, but please do. Our guys, it's a very small crew. Here it is March, right? We're just finishing the light bulbs, we're cleaning up, putting the tubs away. But we normally would have, we need 6 or 8 working for 3 months. And we had 2, and then 2 other part-timers. It's taken Jeff's our maintenance supervisor, obviously oversees decorating, and so he's been out of the building doing decorating literally since June. So that just takes way too long, but having said that, the murals we think look wonderful. They look great. It's hard to do people, and we're really happy with them. We've got some really nice feedback. Different people have pushed out who they are, and we're working currently, as some stage is working on, so we're prepared here. My goal would be by the 1st of May, we are ready to have our QR codes and all of our famous South Dakota information on the website, and so people can learn about our South Dakotans over the next 9 months or 8 months.
Any luck getting more of them to visit?
No, the only other one we reached out to was Becky Hammond, who's in Sioux Falls here coming up next month. But all we got was a speaker bureau contact and sent a note to them, say, here's who we are, and we'd love to reach out to her and pass along our email. So, but yeah, we do have a connection in Scotland to Charles Guimar. So, it's just more about his schedule. So we have reached out to him via family. So that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, we'll keep working on that. If you hear something or read about something like a number of you noted, hey, Becky Hammond's coming to Sioux Falls, we did the same. We heard it and said, immediately we called the chamber who was going, I think.
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah,
that.
she's going to the show and so maybe while she's there, she can ask too. So, but I do know that WNBA season will be starting up here. Like summer, yeah, soon. Okay, murals. What we need to decide is location, okay? Or if you see something that, you know what, this isn't right, you've seen these, I sent these out. These are the revisions, second revision. I just drug them onto a document to display them. We need to, there's 10 pictures here. We have 9 murals locations. So, think about 1 is in the front where Mike Miller is, 2 is Billy Mills, 3 is Bob Barker, and we're going around. The long one, number 9, is where Laura Ingalls is at. If there's, and I honestly talked to Jeff about it a bit. They need to scale these though, and they would do that. In fact, they would have started this week had we had them. So I told Kyle we'll get them to him tomorrow. If you have thoughts on what should be on the front, probably most photographed one is number 3 on the corner where the corn statue is, where Bob Barker is. That's the most photographed. Obviously, the front is pretty prevalent with our corn cam. You see both of those.
Well, and the one that shows up on your annual picture is kind of doing both sides of it.
Yeah, it's
from the
usually
corner.
from the corner.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 and 3 are coming.
So Roy, you look like you're thinking.
I like the Statue of Liberty where the Bob Barker is.
It's a pretty sunset. It's gonna, and they'll be able to do that pretty well, quite honestly, with the different blended corn that the reds and browns that we have. So, the only thing I would mention is the Statue of Liberty and Eiffel Tower. There was a connection with France. One was a gift, and the same sculptor did both. And we have an extra, whether or not we combined anything. I think I'm the one that mentioned that. I'm not soliciting one way or the other. I just wanted to let you know we do have 10 murals here. So either we.
They've had troubles with lines in the past.
Well.
Do you see a problem with the tower trying to do all the lines with corn?
Especially how small it's portrayed.
Well, I just know that they've said they've had trouble outlining or drawing lines in the past.
Well, that mural is 40 by 30, so it's still, there's
It's
still
just a
pretty good
lot of
size.
lines.
Yep. But it's not any smaller than an outline would be of our, well, Sage, you work with that a little bit, decorating too. I mean, you're either 1 or 2 cops wide going through. They're outlined in black, but on a light background, the black would be the
Right.
tower. So I think they're fine. It's either 1 or 2 wide as they go up.
So unless we put 2 on one mural, like we kind of mentioned, there'll be one things we don't. do,
Correct. Yep. So if that's kind of what you want to do, you decide, the least desirable one is,
I think the Eiffel Tower is this terrible one.
is the least,
Yeah.
in your opinion?
Which one was that?
The Eiffel Tower. I just think it's the.
Bottom right corner is
The Mount Everest. I don't-
Mount Everest really doesn't,
I don't
Hard
understand.
to tell what it is.
I don't know what that is.
It was, well,
I thought that was like a tiger.
Northern Lights,
Oh, actually, I see that now.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's
looked like a puma sign.
Yeah.
pouncing.
I think that for me is the most difficult.
we had the Northern Lights and we had Mount Everest.
Oh,
These would be wonders of the world, not wonders.
Wanders.
It spelled that, wrong grammar.
WA.
Yeah. I was wondering if they're wonders. Anyway, Wonders of the World, 2025 is what this theme would be. So we have an Eiffel Tower on 3, and we have a no on Eiffel Tower, as far as not having it at all or a different location.
Could they change up some of the colors on the Eiffel Tower so you're not just seeing all black?
Sunrise.
Because do you get that much black that you're able to, you have the trees and the background and the grass and all that and the person all kind of in shades of black. I just don't know if you got that much corn variety to deal with that. I don't know.
Because this was at number 2, we made the person smaller,
Yep.
which is good.
Yep.
But I feel like what I thought could use,
Some contrast or more prevalent.
more prevalent.
Bigger.
That's the thing.
Okay.
I'm with you, I see
Yeah, it just kind of looks like a black.
Like you're a little bit too far away.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that's
So make it more
That's true, actually.
bigger part of the image. Less sunset, less trees and grass. Okay?
And possibly some green.
Yeah. Just to break it up, and
Yeah.
the ones that look like the prairie, the Florida's Wilder one, with those pops of color, it's just so pretty. Up there.
Alex, if we made it, would that help you at all with it or not really?
Well, is that the one you would combine with the Statue of
It,
Liberty? Or
well,
would they
I
stand alone?
I only said that because they're both, have a connection and you know, your little bit of history about them, you know, people might make the connection. But as far as them, obviously Statue of Liberty, if the Eiffel Tower was as big as that, you know, it's right there. That's probably what you're thinking, that's just the tower, that's what we want to see.
I think if nobody likes Mount Everest, it's- yeah.
I think we take, I would say that because of the shape of the upper right, the pyramids, that would fit in that large mural better.
Number 9.
The large mural, the side.
Oh,
That
You
would,
can-
seems as though that would fit. It's already set up. They just have to enlarge it.
no, that's great. I like number
4.
Which one's that? The Christ the Redeemer?
Yeah. I think that'd look good in one.
One or two, yeah.
I also like the Sydney Orchestra one.
Same.
I think I
If you
just
put
like the
Christ-
colorful ones, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the Oscar Howe colors. That's, because that reminds me so much of
By the way,
those.
he used a lot of color.
I love this.
Yeah.
Christ the Redeemer 1, and then the Opera House 2, and then the Statue of Liberty 3.
I
I
mean,
think you're right, it does remind me of the Oscar Howe artwork that you see up
It's-
there. Yeah.
It's very typical.
well, I like that, you know, when you're coming down Main Street, people see that Statue of Liberty, you know, it means a lot to us. It's on our money, you know, it's on our
Jeff
coins.
said he lost cell phone, he's driving in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, no.
He's watching all on,
Oh, okay.
so he can hear us.
Oh, all right, okay. Thank you. Well, if you get a text from him, so we have an option for Christ the Redeemer at 1, where Mike Miller is at now, the Sydney Opera House, where Billy Mills is on 2, and then where Bob Barker is, the Statue of Liberty on 3. Okay? Any opposition? Okay, that's good.
Yep.
And then anything that you don't want by, you know, so then we could put the bigger Eiffel Tower next to the Statue of Liberty. We still have the same kind of what we were thinking if we can make that
Right.
relationship. I'm thinking of our tour guides giving the story. That'd be a good story then to talk about the gift from the French for this. And if the same person that designed the Eiffel Tower designed the Statue of Liberty. Okay, are you, anybody opposed to making that, we'll make it bigger, I'll send it out, get a little approval. They want to start this, you know, they can start on these others while they redesign Eiffel Tower. We'll make Eiffel Tower number 4, okay? That leaves us China, Great Wall of China, Taj Mahal, the Grand Canyon, and the Colosseum. So let's maybe think about,
What are the
No.
green, these all brown ones and then these two
it'd
green ones?
be, so number 9 is going to be the pyramid. So
Same.
Oh,
the two in the middle, Colosseum and
Yeah,
then,
brown, green, brown, green.
break up the brown.
That's-
Yeah.
well, that's possible, yeah, nothing wrong with that. So we've got,
I don't care which order.
so Eiffel Tower, well, you know, we'll assume we're going to add a little bit of green there because those trees obviously have light leaves on them. You know, they're bushed out, so it's not winter time. So that one's got some greenish. Maybe we go with a
Grand Canyon,
Grand Canyon number 5,
I'm just thinking to break up the colors, yeah.
and then go
that's
Taj Mahal. Fine with that, number 6. And then that would leave our Colosseum at 7. And then we put Great Wall of China at number 8, next to pyramids. Okay? Any other than the more prominent Eiffel Tower and add more color, which I think they can do pretty easily. I say that's not an artist, but anything else? The others haven't changed a lot from what we've requested, so. Sage, anything pop out as a decorator, former decorator that might make, oh my gosh, how many walls?
I agree on the bottom right with this one.
Just not enough contrast.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like the ones that have been the coolest to me on the murals are the ones that kind of have a lot of different patterns or colors going on. When they had the weather series and they had the lightning strike, and I mean, those are just really, they make the corn kind of pop out a little more, pop out. I didn't mean that.
You could work at the Corn Palace. That's a
The only one that, the Grand Canyon is not very,
colorful.
it just doesn't, it doesn't, equate the vastness of it, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, they need more dimension, I think, to show how large the Grand Canyon actually is. But it kind of just looks like.
Well, I'll make a note to them to see if they, showing wider. So there's a little more, maybe more contrast in here, so it shows that
Well,
it's,
and isn't there like a river down at the?
Yeah, there's a river, they could have a river in.
Colorado River.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that would give you a color contrast if I added that showed into the canyon. To kind of separate the two, yeah, I knew there was a river, I just didn't know which one. And separate the two walls so you can tell there's a
It's.
bottom.
Yeah.
well, and I think the perspective looking down in it maybe is different than what we're seeing here. We're just looking across it.
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't see the river in this, looking at it this way. I've never been there, but,
The funny part is,
oh yeah, that's-
the horizon is flat. If
Yeah.
you're there, if you're actually there, the horizon is actually flat. On the other,
On the other
to
side.
the others, you look across, you're looking down, and I have tons of pictures on my phone of
This
that.
one's really.
We were just there.
the sunrise is pretty cool, actually.
But yeah, there's some neat,
There's another one.
That's a different perspective. You're looking
Yeah.
down the canyon versus across it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
depends on where you're looking.
Boy, that would scare the daylights out of me at the end.
That blows my mind. It's not
Well,
like-
I know
And that's kind of similar to the,
like
they
people just
will
fall in.
start transferring these, but while they're doing that, we'll see if they can't, well, we know we can, I know they can fix the Eiffel Tower, and change that color a bit. The other one, we'll see. I'll ask them what they can do, because I know they want to get started. What happens is if the students don't get
Yeah,
it
they
done,
need the time
they,
to put it on.
yeah, Kyle and his family are doing it. Then they lose students, so, I said, yep, we'll get them to you tomorrow. Okay, anything else on murals?
Citizens input? Citizens?
See, no citizens input.
Yeah,
I'm gonna, Stephanie, I'm gonna see if I do this right. and
just hit merge.
Merge.
Aye.
You gotta, you gotta make a motion first.
Motion, motion.
There you go. Yeah. All right, we are adjourned. 5:34. Thank you. Look for some emails. I'm gonna go grab something for Jamie right now. Okay. Sage, you didn't think that would get that long, did you? We got a pillow for you. What's going on? Michael's shoes, John. Oh, hey, John. Yeah.